Hello, everyone, and welcome back. As always, I'm your girl, Candy Washington. And before we dive into today's Kiki, which is Ronald Richards still coming for Erika Jayne and Tom Girardi's neck, he exposed it and told it all. So he posted the document of how Erika Jayne Girardi and her fraudulent husband, Tom Girardi, blew $25 million of victims' money and how there are still big questions out there. Where is the money? Because just because we have this list, there's more questions. There's some missing money. And should the people that got the money, should they have to pay it back? That's a big question. But before we dive, and there's also more questions that I had because I saw some of this stuff on here, but we'll get into it. Let me do my spiel and then we'll get into it, okay? As always, be sure to like this video, share my channel with a friend because a Kiki is always better with community, and check out our description box down below. Okay, you guys, so with that, let's dive in. So this is according to a reality blurb. We're going to go through the article, and then there's a lot of questions because this is so shady as hell, and then we'll get into it, okay? So let's go. Here's how Erika Jayne spent the $25 million her LLC received from Tom Girardi's law firm. See the breakdown as Trustee's lawsuit continues against the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star. All right. So Erika Jayne was hit with a $25 million lawsuit last summer from the trustee presiding over the bankruptcy case against her estranged husband, Thomas Girardi, and his now defunct law firm, Girardi Keese. And days ago, attorney Ronald Richards revealed details about the $25,592,261.26 the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star's company, EJ Global, received from Girardi Keese. As we know, all of that money is victims' money, okay? It's fraudulent money, it's stolen money. As Erika continues to fight back against the lawsuit, claiming she shouldn't have to pay back, quote, the fraudulent transfers, Ronald has shared a 6-page document titled Summary of Net Payments Charged to EJ Global Receivable Account with his followers, which covers the time span between 2008 and 2020, okay? And don't worry, you guys, I got them. I got the receipts. So we're going to go through it a bit, okay? We're going to go through it. Now, here we go. Quote, we have attached the list and breakdown. This is what attorney Ronald Richards said in the caption of his Instagram. This is from his Instagram account. And then he posted all of the receipts from where they spent that $25 million. And we can go through some of them because I got questions. I got some questions, okay? But let's go through it. So if you can't read it, don't worry. I'm going to read it for you. So he said, we have attached the list and breakdown of the $25 million that was spent on Erika, her career, and her lifestyle, Ronald announced on December 23rd. The trustee has also deposed her. We will post the lawsuits when they are done being processed. As an adjunct to yesterday's filings, numerous new lawsuits are being filed against some of Erika Girardi's vendors. So basically what this means is they are also going to file lawsuits against some of these companies, vendors, people who received the fraudulent funds allegedly for doing services for Erika Jayne. So not only are they saying Erika Jayne, you need to pay this back, but the people she paid, they're saying y'all need to pay this back too. Okay, so let's keep going. We deposed her on them, and now the trustee is going to try and get the money returned. They will hopefully cooperate and provide additional information regarding these expenses. All right, now this is important, okay? Because this is very, very similar to what they did with Tom Girardi's mistress, who was the judge, right? When they were like, oh, he bought you plastic surgery. He bought you all of these gifts. He gave you $300,000 to spend on a summer house. Now that we know that was victim's money, you need to return that. And not out of the goodness of her heart, but because she doesn't want to probably be shamed and she has a good PR person, she ended up returning the stuff that she could return. So that's what they're basically saying to the vendors. Now that you know the money was stolen, we need you to give it back. In the detailed list of expenses, it is confirmed that Girardi Keese made a number of payments to different production companies, photographers, talent agencies, travel services, hair studios, the franchise tax board, which was paid $3,256.96, and even the Hollywood Reporter, which received a $13,360 payment. Now, why are they paying the Hollywood Reporter almost $14,000? As we know, the Hollywood Reporter, it's a magazine, it's a publication. Very suspicious, very suspicious. The largest of all of the payments went to American Express in the amount of $14,059,012.84. That was followed by a $1,532,774.88 to McDonald Selznick Associates, a talent agency. Why are they giving $1.5 million to a talent agency? That also doesn't make sense. And $1.26 million to Paradigm Management Services, a healthcare company. Why are they giving a healthcare company $1.26 million? This isn't like, this is suspect. Now, even more suspect, there was also a $1.4 million payment made to what is listed as, quote, unknown. Unknown. So $1.4 million is just unaccounted for. Meanwhile, the lowest amounts, $80 and $66, went to the Secretary of State and Los Angeles Office of Finance, respectively. In August of last year, after a less detailed breakdown of her expenses was shared publicly, Erika's attorney offered a statement to Page Six. Erika never had and does not have personal liabilities for any debts or obligations of EJ Global LLC, period. Shut up, lawyer. They said, slamming the trustee's malicious claims as a, quote, reckless publicity grab. Erika and her castmates are expected to go into production on the upcoming 13th season of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills in early 2023. Now, listen. This is super suspect. Here are some more of what he said. And you guys can go to Ronald Richards because it's tiny and it's small. I know we can't all read it. I can't even read it. It's so tiny. But you can go to Ronald Richards' Instagram. But this is just to give you just sort of, what do you call it? Like an idea of how the $25 million were spent. But I want to put on our candy cane critical thinking hats because I have some mother effing questions because this doesn't make sense. Rock with me on this. This doesn't make any damn sense. On what Spence report, on what spreadsheet of charges is everything rounded to a whole number? Like the majority of numbers on here, let's do this one because you can see it better. It's very, to me, made up. To Jeff, whatever his name is, $525. To Robert Dowling, $525. To Victor Major, $525. To Ernest Walton, $500. To Jarman Inc., $500. To Catherine, $500. To me, it sounds like a couple of things. One, it sounds like made up people, made up names that they're just giving random numbers to account for the money. Because I think that they were using EJ Global to launder the victim's money, right? That was the way that they were going to clean the money and launder the money. Oh, we spent all this money on Erika's company, saying they spent it on hair and photographers, this and that and the third, when really they were just pocketing the money and it was a way for them to launder the money, right? Because don't forget, there's that $1.4 million to unknown. And these names don't make any sense. There's even one called Kimmy K, Sasha Collision. Who are these people? And I think a lot of it, and it's like very much whole numbers, 1800, 1950, 2000, 2000. They seem like made up names, and they also seem like made up numbers. Because if you're actually accounting for what you're spending, it doesn't work that way. It's usually like, oh, $13,859.26. This invoice was for $27,012, and 8 cents. How come all of these are rounded to whole numbers and they're just random names? Like Kimmy K, is that Kim Kardashian? Now, I listen to a lot of, if you guys listen to the podcast American Greed, it's all about white collar fraud. And I forgot who it was, but somebody was running a very similar scam. I think it was either like a healthcare like scam or something like that. But basically what they were doing was they would make up names as like clients. They would make up these names and then they would bill, they would bill either like Medicaid or they would bill someplace pretending like these were actual clients, but they were just made up names that they used. And this is what this seems like to me. Sure, I think some of these people are real. Yes, the Hollywood Reporter is real. Yes, the franchise tax board is real and some of the production company is real. But I just don't think that all of these people and names are real companies. They're either fake names or front names as a way for them to launder the money because it's too clean. 525, 525, 525, 500, 500, 500, 450, 400, 340, 300, 300, 250. It seems made up to me. It seems like somebody, and then on the other side, 3,000, 3,000, 3,000, 25, 25. It seems made up. It doesn't seem like actual accounting for money. Do you see what I'm saying? It just doesn't make any sense. Like if I went to my accountant and said, here's all my stuff and everything was whole numbers, they would be like, what is this? Elementary school? You're just rounding up? It doesn't make any sense. So that's another red flag. So another big one is they've paid a lot of money to these, quote, talent agencies to block talent. They paid some money. Let's see some other ones that they spent money on. It was block talent. It was clear talent. There was another one that was mentioned in the article. There's grid agency. This is what I don't understand. It's one thing to pay for a photo shoot, for hair and makeup, for clothes, all of that theoretically is legitimate, right? I'm not saying it's not legitimate if you're using victims' money. I'm talking about in general, right? If you're actually using real money, that's legitimate. I mean, clean money, right? That's legitimate to spend money on that, building your portfolio, this, that, and the third, right? But I don't know if you guys know about the entertainment industry, but the client, like the talent, should never directly pay the talent agency. That's a scam. The way it actually works is your agent will get you a job, and then whoever that job is, like for example, say Garcelle books a movie with Paramount and she's getting paid a bunch of money. Paramount is going to give a percentage of what they're paying her, or it's called an agent fee or a manager fee. It's usually anywhere between 10 and 20%. And then they should pay directly to the talent agency. Or the talent agency has the power to cash the check and they get their cut. Essentially, actors or dancers or models or performers should be paying commission to the talent agency, not a direct payment. And especially not this millions of dollars and thousands of dollars. That to me is highly suspicious. Highly suspicious. So if I were some of these vendors, I would start cooperating real quick with the FBI and the feds. I would start cooperating real quick. I would either be like, no, this payment was never made to us. They used our name and this is a fake account and we didn't give her any services. We don't know what we're paying her. Because if they are doing something shady, it's all about to come out. Because it's really shady that they're saying that she's spending thousands and millions of dollars and giving it to talent agencies. That's not how it works. Agents and managers get commission. They don't get direct checks from the client unless they're doing something shady. Unless they're doing something really, really shady. So if I was these talent agencies, if I was the Hollywood Reporter, and also why is he paying thousands of dollars to the Hollywood Reporter? Is he keeping a story from coming out? Is it hush money? Or is it pay to play? Put me on the cover of the Hollywood Reporter, or, give me a spread in the Hollywood Reporter, give me a centerfold, or give it to Erika, give it to me to make us look good. Because that was another thing Tom Girardi did. He bought a lot of his press and awards. So he bought his way onto covers of lawyer magazines and entrepreneurs magazine and businessmen magazines. So, and that was another way he was able to continue his scheme and fraud, because people looked at him as being powerful and influential and somebody you didn't want to mess with. Who's going to question the guy who's on the cover of Man of the Year, Lawyer of the Year? Who's going to question the guy that has all of these awards and everything? So he would pay for press to be on cover shoots. And a lot of famous people do this. Look at the Kardashians. They run the media. They run it. And a lot of celebrities do this. They have really strong publicists who will pay for them to be on magazine covers, to be on podcasts, to be on TV shows, to be on whatever it is. And then that's how they build their celebrity. And when you have that celebrity, you have power and you have influence. So if I was any person or vendor on this list, and the list goes, like Kathy said, the list goes on, and you can go to Ronald Richards' Instagram. He has it all out, because I know it might be small to read, but it just screams fake to me. It just screams fake. I think there's some legitimate payments. Again, they're not legitimate because they were paid with victims' money, but by legitimate, I mean, sure, maybe she did pay for a photo shoot. Maybe she did pay to sing at a place. Maybe she did pay for that. But $25 million was allegedly spent on her career, and the best Erika Jayne could do was pat the puss. I'm calling foul here. Where did the money actually go? Because it didn't go on her career. Sure, maybe $1 million here, $1 million there did. But where did the rest of the money go? Robbing Peter to pay Paul, because it was nothing but a big Ponzi scheme. Nothing but a big Ponzi scheme. And a lot of people use business. It's no different than going to a part of town where maybe it's a little questionable and they have a shop, right? And the shop is the front. But when you go in the back of the shop, that's where they're doing the dirty deals and the money laundering and all of that stuff. That's basically what EJ Global was. It was a front. It was a way for them to launder money. Allegedly, in my opinion, hypothetically, I don't want her cuckoo nasty lawyer coming after me, okay? Nobody's lawyer come after me. I'm not EJ Global, okay? Relax, lawyers. But that's basically what they're setting this up to be, which is why the trustee is also going after the vendors. Because they want to, I think they want to confirm, so we have it on here that, Erika Jayne paid Jason Walrow $950. She paid Michael DeBarris $1,000. I think they want to know, did you receive this money? And what exactly did you receive it for? I think they're going to want to make sure that every single payment can be verified, that these people actually exist. Like Heather Haynes sounds made up to me. Robert Hoffman sounds made up to me. Why is she paying multiple agencies? Starworks Artists LLC got $1,200. Candace Craig sounds made up to me. Aaron Hernandez, Jamie Ruiz, Honey Gun Labs, Michael Carr, One Stop Digital, Picnic. She spent $1,500 on Picnic. What the hell is Picnic? They're going to have to go through and confirm who these people are and what was the service rendered. And even if they actually did a service, they're going to say, well, you need to give that money back. Because they ain't playing right now. They're not playing. And I would be very worried and I would be very concerned if I was Erika Jayne, because they're not playing. They're not playing. They're really not. But this opens up a lot of questions. And it's also going to open up a lot of investigation into these vendors. You know, why is she paying the Hollywood Reporter? Why is she paying these talent agencies? What is she paying them for? What was their role in any type of cover up? It's a big question. It's a really big question, you know? And maybe some of it is harmless. Maybe, you know, the the almost $14,000 to the Hollywood Reporter. Maybe that was just for, I don't know, an ad. He placed an ad in the Hollywood Reporter. Maybe, who knows? Maybe that's it. It could be innocent, but given everything, they are going to need to go down through everything and really, really figure it out. So it's crazy. It's crazy. But I want to know what you guys think, and stick around my candy canes because I definitely want to take your candy cane questions in the comments. But for everybody watching on the replay, be sure to comment down below. Are you like me and you think just when you thought you couldn't get any lower, we realize we're only at the tip of the iceberg? Because they're going to have to investigate all of these trustees and all of these, in my opinion, made up numbers. I don't know anybody who has expense sheets that are just 1,500, 2,000, 400, 400, 500, 3,000. I don't know anybody. It sounds made up to me. It sounds like they had someone go in and just make up numbers and names. So it just might be the tip of the iceberg, but put it down there, you guys. Let me know. Also, be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss it when we go live. Also, be sure to share this with a friend because a kiki is always better with community, and check out our description box down below. So with that, let's take some of our candy cane questions and comments. All right. Hey, Gossip News. She says, yes, I know. Hey, Deb. Deb says, hey, all. Hey, sweetheart. Hey, Artist Fleetwood. Good evening, Candy. Good evening, sweetheart. Thank you, Deb, for holding me down. That's right, you guys. Please subscribe and get those likes up. Thank you. Hey, Deb. EJ Global Receipts. This is heavy. This is what Sutton talked about. Exactly. The real breakdown of money. What's that called again? So this is the thing. Sutton had a lot of tea. One thing Sutton said was she knew she either was friends with people or she knew, or she was like in a circle of people, but she knew people that had quit Girardi and Keith because they realized that it was basically a fraudulent Ponzi scheme and they didn't want any part of it. And that tracks because a lot of people said, yeah, they knew Tom Girardi was dirty. They knew he was doing fraudulent. Even Bethany Frankel said it. She said, you know, her late fiance, Dennis, was like, oh yeah, like it's an open secret that Tom Girardi is a fraud. So people knew. And the real breakdown of money, what's that called again? Is it for like forensic accounting? I think it's like forensic financial accounting, where they do like, when you think of like forensics, you know, you think of like, oh, DNA and all that stuff. But I think forensic accounting is when they go deep in and they do like what I'm saying. It's like, wait a minute, what is this receipt? Who is it for? And what was it for? Is this real? Is this legit? Where is all the money? Where are all of the accounts? I think it's forensic accounting is when they do a deep dive to really figure out the money and all of that stuff. So it's crazy. And this is sick. This is really sick. And I think it's going to be really, really bad for Erika. I think they're just going to let Tom sit in the nursery home, but Erika might get it. Deb says money or $1,500 for a picnic. Exactly. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think a lot of these accounts are fake. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. These numbers just don't make any sense to me. The names don't sound real. And why? TKC Entertainment, to Bob for your like, it just doesn't. This is a lot of money for a non-career. Because let's just be honest, nobody knew who the hell Erika Jayne was until she was on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And quiet as it's kept, people are saying that the reason why she got on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills was because Tom Girardi made a copyright lawsuit against NBC go away. But nobody knew who the hell Erika Jayne was before Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. So where did that $25 million go? Sure as hell wasn't to marketing. Deb says the Hollywood Reporter. Exactly. Why are they giving 14 grand to the Hollywood Reporter? That's very, very suspect. Yep. Holy crap. She spent millions to a talent agency. This makes no sense. Why are they hiding money? Exactly. It doesn't make any sense because the way it's supposed to work, and I talked about this earlier, but I'll repeat it now. The way it's supposed to work is that your manager or your agent makes a commission on the gigs that they book you. You should not be cutting a check to your talent agency. Their commission comes one of two ways. Either whoever hired you, like again, like say you booked a movie for NBC. The NBC would then give an agency fee or a manager fee, and they would pay that directly to your talent agent. Or if you got a check, your talent agent would take a percentage of the check. Same way with like lawyers that work on commission, right? Like, or what do they work on? Like a contingency fee, right? You don't pay that lawyer directly. They take a percentage of what your settlement will be. It's very similar to that. So there is no legitimate reason why Erika should be spending hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars to multiple talent agencies. So this is one of two things. Either one, the talent agency is doing something very shady, or two, they're using the talent agency's name as a cover. Because that's also a possibility. Because what I think is, I don't think all of the names and businesses that they're saying they gave money to, that the money actually went to them. That's why the feds are now vetting all of the vendors, being like, oh, they said they gave you $20,000 in October of 2012. Why? What was the money for? And did you receive the money? Because just because it's on this spreadsheet does not mean it's true. That's how they're washing the money. Oh, we gave 20 grand to this talent agency. Did you? For what? What has Erika been in? I'll wait. Because Erika was only getting gigs, like she got Chicago and stuff like that, only because she was on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. What was Erika in before that? Because even before she got with Tom Girardi, she was a bigger actress before she got with him. And by bigger actress, I literally mean by doing like one-liners on Law and Order here and there when she lived in New York. But what has Erika been in to warrant giving hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars to talent agencies? Doesn't make any sense. Like, this chick is not Julia Roberts. You know what I mean? Like, she's not Meryl Streep. So if something's really, really fishy, that's why if I was anybody in the industry or anybody like that, I would check out this list and make sure my name and my company was not associated with it, because the feds are going to come knocking at your door and they're going to want the receipts. Because I think this list is fake. I think it's a fake list. Not fake that Ronald Richards posted a fake list. I mean, like, EJ Global was cooking the books. EJ Global was cooking the books, because this doesn't make sense. I'm not an accountant, but I know what expenses look like, okay? And they don't look like this. I'm not Julia Roberts, but I know how it works to be a talent with a talent agency, and it's not like this. It's crazy. It's crazy. Hey, Amy, what's up? She goes, the Hollywood Reporter, so they won't publish a story. That's true. It could be hush money. It could either be hush money, so they don't publish a story. It could be an ad. Maybe he took out an ad and it's a $14,000 ad. I don't know. It could be paid to play, which is like, we'll pay you to do a fluff piece on Erika or a fluff piece on Tom. Could be that. Or it could be a lie. It could be front. It could be fake. But whatever it is, it's hella suspicious. Hey, Deb, either that or Amy's, or they're hiding money. Exactly. Yeah. They're cooking the books. They're cooking the books. Yeah. That's really what it seems like, but you never know. I mean, we also talk about, certain people paying bloggers and content creators and paying, certain outlets to post things about them. I would like to believe that the Hollywood Reporter is more credible than that. Like, I don't think that they would, do that. But then again, you just never know. You know what I mean? You never know. You never know, especially in the entertainment. Who knows? Deb said, I got some news and crimes. What do you think? Hey, 0903 Punkin goes, so what do her castmates think when they said if Erika had known she was taking victims' money, they would have a huge problem with Erika not caring about the victims? Are they still going to kiss her butt? This is the thing. Whoever is kissing her butt this whole time is going to continue to kiss her butt. Because just like Erika said, when she checked the hell out of Dorit, what did she say to her? Oh, it would be awful for you to find yourself in my position. Basically being like, you keep coming for me, I'm going to tell your secrets. Because Erika and Tom are not the only frauds. We've been breaking it down. They're not the only frauds on that show. They're not the only frauds on Bravo. I still think it's gross and disgusting. And Erika is gross and disgusting. But this to me, I mean, again, I don't have a degree in accounting, but even I could look at this and be like, okay, so this is fake and you're cooking the books. You just went in and just put in numbers and names because it's really that's really what it looks like. Soundcheck LA, $2,500. Guy Furious Productions, $2,500. Odyssey Magazine, $2,500. Sasha Collision, $2,500. Like, come on, guys. Come on. Gustav says scammers. Basically. Hey, Sarah. She goes, is one of the names Bad Daddy or whatever the fudge Brenna's fake account was called? Exactly. Baddie. That account is disgusting. I just did a video on it. That Baddie woke stand account literally today, did a racist rant against Garcelle, and they dragged Girardi from the Real Housewives of Miami into it. Like, it's disgusting. I just did a video on it. It's disgusting. That Baddie woke stand account. Yep. But don't forget though, this is the thing. This they froze that EJ Global account in 2020. So anything that they bought or did after 2020, they either used Diana's money or a different account. But this account got froze in 2020 because that's when everything hit the fan. Hey, Deb, EJ Global laundered the money. They aren't any different than the lowest criminal. He should be deported or her too. Send both to Italy. Listen, I agree with you. In another video I did, I called Tom Girardi a thug. And no, Lisa Rinna, not a thug in a cocktail dress, you evil witch. No, he is just a thug. He's a thug. He basically ran an organized criminal organization. I don't know what else to call it. It was basically organized crime. He ran a large Ponzi scheme. He was in the pockets of lawyers and judges and executives and very powerful people, including politicians. He bullied and manipulated and threatened and scared people into submission. And he stole from innocent people. If that's not the definition of a thug, I don't know what is. Tom Girardi is nothing but a thug in a suit. He's a thug. He's no different than, somebody in a different type of neighborhood, maybe smuggling drugs or smuggling something else or doing, petty, whatever. He is no different than any other thug. No different. It's disgusting. Hey, Deb. Hey, Sarah. Hey, Candy. Yeah, Candy will answer you. That's crazy, but Rena is crazy, isn't she? Yes. Hey, Gustav. That's the Glam Squad. I mean, this ish is crazy. This is crazy. If it's too small to read, I'm sorry, but it's also on Ronald Richards' Instagram. But yeah, I mean, Caprice, $775, Patricia Williams, $70.75, custom lighting, $850, groove. Again, the numbers sound completely made up. But then they throw in a couple of real ones, like Sign Central, $533.88. That makes sense. That sounds like an actual receipt. But the rest of these, Thank you, Deb. Thank you. That's right, you guys. Subscribe and hit the like button if you're having fun. Deb says it looks all made up. Exactly. Why aren't the feds getting her? Oh, yeah, his son is a big shot agent. Tom sure covered his rear end. This is what I think. I think that the feds are building a very strong case against her, and they're not going to go arrest her, and they're not going to go get her until they have all their T's crossed and all their I's dotted, and until they are at more of the bottom of everything. Because this is still the tip of the iceberg that's still chipping away. You know, the fact that they arrested the CFO, that's huge. The fact that they had his son, his alleged son, but you know the deal, who was the FBI agent, recuse himself, that's huge. The fact that they are going after the vendors to get more information, to have them cooperate, that's huge. So I honestly think all signs point to the feds are heavily and deeply investigating everything. And I think, of course, we can say, just go get her. But like we know sometimes with like the legal system, even when they are investigating and doing it, they want to make sure that they go into a courtroom and based on the law, they're able to nail her or they're able to nail him, right? Because it's one thing to know something and it's another thing to be able to prove something, especially when you're dealing with somebody like Tom Girardi, who, in my personal opinion, is faking dementia. And he still has his wits about him, and he still has influence and pull and people working on his behalf outside of the elderly home that he's living in. So I think that, and they also don't know how deep and how far the corruption goes. Because think about it, his love child was one of the top local FBI officials. So, and I honestly think, and might sound naive, but I actually don't think it's naive. I actually think, and maybe it's a competency thing and not and they're not doing their due diligence. I think his son got that job because his son, and this is just my opinion, so don't come sue me, anybody. I do think his son got that job because he wanted to be in a position to influence the case. I do. Because I don't think it's a coincidence he transferred from Mississippi to LA at this particular time in his life to move in with his mother. I think he got that job to influence the case. I will say this. I think that a lot of people probably weren't even aware of the conflict of interest until the LA Times article came out. And that's I think that's less of a corruption issue and more of a competency, not doing your due diligence, lack of internal communications, all of that. But that's what I think is going on. I think the feds are doing a deep dive investigation. They want to know exactly who knew what, exactly who benefited, how the whole scheme worked. And I think once they have it ironclad, then they will come after her. And I know it's frustrating, right? It's frustrating for us because we're like, she switched the diamond earrings. She's, we see all of this stuff. Like, it's so obvious. But it's one thing to know something, and it's another thing to be able to legally prove it in a court of law, particularly dealing with the evil snake that Tom Girardi was. So that's what I think is going on. Hey, Deb, and everyone else's. Candy, this is such a brilliant criminal life Tom has led. Yeah, seriously. Wait until Lifetime does a movie on them, or, whoever is going to do a movie on them. Who's going to play Erika Jayne in the movie? I think it's going to be Charlize Theron. I think Charlize Theron is going to play Erika Jayne in the movie. Who do you think is going to play her? Put it down below. Can't believe he isn't even an American. I wonder if he's really an attorney. Girl, that's a good question. That's a good question, because I wouldn't be surprised. Deb says, you're so right, Amy. Yes. Hey, Sarah, has anyone Googled any of these people to see if they're real? Well, this is the thing. Some of the companies and some of the production, some of like the companies like the Kimball Hair, like I know Kimball's like a real hair studio. The names of the talent agencies are real. Like I know Block Talent, I know Clear Talent, and some of the other ones. But I do think that Some of them are made up. And then I also think some of them are actually real, but they might be fronts. Like I can say, oh, I went to Chanel and I spent $12,000 at Chanel. Chanel is real, but did I spend $12,000 at Chanel? Hell no. You know what I mean? So it's like, I agree. I think that some of them are made up. And then I think some of them are just fronts. And then I think some of the payments might be hush money, payback money, whatever the case may be. But this is not legit. Hey, Gustav, or good press for Erika's music career. Right. Pay to play. Hey, Gustav, this is why I think Erika has money hidden away. Oh, 100%. We already know she has the account in Florida, the Wells Fargo account that she's already gotten well over $500,000 from. And this $1.4 million that went to quote unknown. I think that Tom Girardi had multiple contingency plans. I think that he has multiple people who are still working on his behalf to open up accounts that Erika has access to. And don't forget, buying the $750,000 earrings, that's not for her to wear the earrings. That's collateral. That's contingency. So when the shit hits the fan, you have these pair of earrings that you can go pawn, that you can go sell, that you can go trade and get that money for it. That's why they bought a lot of jewelry. They bought a lot of artwork, because a lot of where they hid their money was in things. Let's get all the artwork. Who the hell gets $1 million pair of earrings? Let's get $1 million pair of earrings. It's really not about wearing $1 million pair of earrings. It's about hiding money in plain sight. That's why she didn't want to give the earrings up. Not because she cared about the earrings, but because she wanted that contingency. They were hiding all of the fraudulent money in plain sight. It's crazy. Hey, Deb, I didn't know that. Maybe that's why Harry Hamlin was the sexiest man. Yes, it seems fake. I see that, Candy Kane. See, I'm sure Ronald is seeing crazy things. It's crazy seeing this. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, this is the thing. The way it works, a lot of times on these magazine covers in, nowadays digital online, a lot of that is it's called pay to play. You could pay these people a certain amount of money and they're going to write an article on you. They're going to put you on the cover. They're going to do all of that stuff. 100%. How do you think a lot of these people became famous? It's not because they're the best actors and singers in the world. It's because they either had a really good team, or they had a good team and they had some money. And that's just the truth. You really think the Kardashians are the Kardashians without them paying to be on the cover of Cosmopolitan every other day, to be in Us Weekly every other day? They executive produce their show. So when you're an executive producer, you put up some money. And they were the executive producers on Keeping Up with Kardashian on E for years and years and years and years and years. A lot of it is pay to play. Why do you think some people make it to the Billboard charts? It's commercialism. It's all commercialism. Do you really like this artist, or do you hear them all the time? And so now you like them, Why do some people have access and some people don't? Come on, got to think about this stuff. You got to think about it. A lot of it is that's what they're paying for. Their publicists will pay to have them have a placement somewhere. Even with products and stuff. You know what I mean? You open up Vogue magazine, you open up Harper's Bazaar magazine, and you see like the skincare section, right? How do you think certain brands got into those magazines? Sure, they might be great brands, but I'm sure they have a really good publicist and they're willing to pay a little bit to get featured. And then, yeah, once you start getting featured and all of that stuff, sure, you'll get, it's called, okay. Let me break it down. So pay to play, like I said, that's paid placement. When I'm going to pay a magazine to put me in the magazine, that's paid placement. But then once I start getting in those types of magazines and people see me, then I'll start getting organic or earned, right? Where it's, I saw Candy in Vogue magazine. That's amazing. I want her in my magazine too. But the only reason why you want me in your magazine is because you saw me in Vogue, but you don't know that I paid to be in Vogue, right? Or I'm just scrolling on my Instagram account and I see, whatever, this, new lip balm is featured in Allure Beauty or whatever. I'm like, oh my God, that's so cool. Allure magazine is talking about this new lip balm. Let me go get that lip balm. But I don't know that that lip balm company paid to be in that magazine. That's how it really, really works. There's paid placements, there's organic placements, and there's also called earned placements. Earned is more like, hey, I'm this brand. I'm going to send you my free body scrub. I'm not going to pay you for it, but since I gave it to you for free, if you want to post it, that'd be cool. That's called earned or gifting. So I'm telling you, it all goes down to who you know and who's paying. That's really how it works. Hey, Deb, pat the puss. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, listen, if somebody gave me $25 million to fund my career, and at the farthest I had gone with $25 million was having to have my fraudulent husband allegedly do a favor to a network to get me on a reality show, then that's a problem. That's a problem. And it also says that $25 million ain't go on my career. You know what I'm saying? So this whole they spent $25 million on Erika's career is a bunch of bullshit. Sure, they spent some money on her career, but that bulk of that money, we don't know where that money is. But it didn't go on her career. And if it did, then that's the biggest scam of all. That is the biggest scam of all. Sarah said, pat the puss. Forgot about that, right? Hey, Gustav, I'm sure Erika has millions in clothes and jewelry too. Exactly. It's the money is hiding in plain sight. Hiding in plain sight. Only Bright Guy says any payment to Rena. I don't know. I'll go through and see if I see anything of like Rena Beauty or Rena anything like that. We'll see. But don't forget, this list is only up until 2020 because that's when they froze the account. So if she paid Rena, because allegedly she gave Rena $5 million, was that in 2021, 2022? Who knows? And maybe she didn't pay from this account, but that's good. Gustav says only gay men were Erika fans. Exactly. She exploited the gay community because I don't care what anybody says. The F word rolled off of her tongue too easily and with too much comfort and authority for me. And how come Andy Cohen didn't say anything? Like, Erika, you can't just sit there and say the F word. Oh, Kathy said he was an old blah, blah, blah. Like, I can't even say it. And the F word was the derogatory homophobic slur. But yet you want to say you're an ally to the gay community, but you sat up there on international television and let that word just fly off your mouth. And other people have said that in other markets in other countries, in the US market, it was bleeped out, but in other countries, it wasn't bleeped out because they have different censors. And that's triggering for some people. If Erika got up there and said the N word, that would be very triggering for me. So I can't imagine how it feels to be a part of the gay community and have her sit up there and say the F word like it was nothing. That was really messed up. But a lot of people exploit cultures for their own gain, but they don't actually respect it. Erika, to me, exploits the gay community. Think about Miley Cyrus. She exploited the Black community. She got what she wanted. She got the fame and the cool factor and the money. And then she was just like, psych, that's really ghetto and gross. And then she went back to being her country self. Look at Justin Bieber. Look at Justin Timberlake. Look at a lot of people. Lala Kent. A lot of people do it. They exploit different cultures. Just because Erika was, exploiting the gay community, she was not an ally for the gay community. Because if she really was an ally, that word would have never crossed her lips, but she said it too easily with too much comfort and too much force. And it's disgusting. It's disgusting. Mm-mm. Hey, Deb, they are brilliant scammers. Per Bernie could have cried dementia. They are. And that's another thing. They had the contingency plan. They knew exactly what they were going to do if they got caught. Because the moment the subpoenas really started rolling in, he was like, oh, dementia, I'm old. Give my brother power of attorney. Let's say I was cheating on Erika and she actually cared. So we'll say we're separating, getting divorced to protect Erika. Oh, let's open up that Wells Fargo account in Florida with my friend so you can have, what is it called? Like not a honey pot, a nest egg or whatever it is that she's gotten, more than $500,000 from. And I'm sure she has other accounts that she has access to. She still has a glam squad. She drives Range Rovers and nice cars. She lives in a multi-million-dollar house here in West Hollywood. And when I say here, I live in LA. That's why I say here. So here, she lives in a multi-million-dollar house in West Hollywood. She still has a publicist. She still has makeup. She still has clothes and furs and designer shoes and jewelry. She still has the artwork because she took a lot of stuff out of that Pasadena house that was, quote, broken into. Yeah, right. She took a lot of stuff. So Erika's fine. Erika, that's what kills me. When she has the audacity to play victim to anything, because all you have to do is literally be not even a decent person, but a quarter way of a decent person to be disgusted by Erika. You literally live in a multi-million-dollar house. You still have access to millions of dollars in jewelry and clothes. You drive Range Rovers and all of these stuff, and you have the audacity to act like you're a victim and that you're a wife in ruins. When you look at the world today, and not to be all preachy, but just the reality is there are millions upon millions of people who don't have food, who don't have clean water. The homeless population right now globally is astronomical. People who don't have access to health care. And it's you actually expect us to give a damn about you, Erika? You already said the only person you care about is yourself. So why should we care about you? I care about the people who are actually struggling in this world. The people who are outside living in tents, the people who don't know, where their next meal is going to come from, or who don't have a safe home to go to. That's the people I care about. But I'm sure Erika right now is very cushy, drinking her cocktails and popping pills and paying for sex, probably, in her multi-million-dollar mansion in West Hollywood. It's disgusting. And these fake accounts, Ronald Richards, you keep it up. You keep it up. You keep it up. You keep on her neck. You keep it up. Gustav says, Tom paid off judges, so when he was caught, he was immediately declared incompetent. Yep. That's another thing. When you have people who are in position, like a judge or a politician, then of course you're above the law because you paid off the law. Deb says Madoff was there only one man sent to prison, not our bankers who stole our mortgages. See, that's the thing. It's crazy. And then think about Jeffrey Epstein. He wasn't selling young men and women. Well, let's call a thing a thing. He wasn't selling young girls and boys to himself. He was selling the children to his clients. But name one Jeffrey Epstein client that's in jail. I'll wait. His co-conspirator is in jail, Ghislaine Maxwell. Ghislaine. She's in jail, but that's because she was a co-conspirator, not a client. But he wasn't, pimping, unfortunately, sex trafficking these children to himself. But not one of his clients are in jail. We never saw the tapes. We never saw the ledgers. We never saw the black books. You know what I mean? And we all know what they did to him. Hey, Deb, Batty is up there by Only Grace. Yup. Only Grace. Oh, dear. We're criminals of Beverly Hills. I know. Hey, Sarah, there's got to be a paper trail. Yeah. There has to be. There has to be. I still think that they're going to just let Tom ride out his golden years in the elderly home. I think it's going to take some time, but I do think that Erika Jayne will ultimately be arrested. But I don't think it'll be this year. I think it's going to take some time, but I do think she will be arrested. Hey, Mary, I'm late, catching up now. Welcome, sweetheart. Hey, Deb at Gustav, they really are the worst of the worst. Victims, orphans, and widows they stole from, 100%. Hey, sincerely blessed, 25 million. You and I both know this woman will lift her eyes in hell. The lies she tells, 100%. 100%. And what a waste of $25 million. You guys, if I had $25 million to invest in my career, I wouldn't work for Bravo. I would effing be Bravo. I would have my own network. You've heard of Oprah. We would have the Candy Cane Network. Oh my gosh. Hey, Deb, that's right. You guys like and subscribe, please. Amy Rhodes says yes. Hey, Deb. Yeah, that's it. Yep. Deb says, yeah, that's what Sutton explained. Thanks, Candy. You're welcome, sweetheart. Deb says, good. I wish they'd report him. Yes. No, they don't make sense to me either. When I put my taxes down, don't you always put the exact amount? Where is the change? Exactly. 1,533 cents. That's why I'm saying it looks fake. It looks so fake and fraudulent. I don't like this looks completely made up. Completely made up. Gustav, Picnic is some kind of app or crypto. I have heard of it before. Ah. Hey, Gustav, they were getting her jobs in gay clubs. Yeah, they were. Yep. Gossip News says, I never trusted Erika. Me either. Gustav says, payoffs. That's true. This also could be a payoff money. Hushed money, payoff money. You scratch my back, I scratch your back money. Artist Fleet says the money is probably in the Wells Fargo, Florida bank. That part. Deb says, welcome, Mary. I didn't see you. Hey, hey. Yep, you're right. Payoffs. Exactly. The gay clubs were paid to have Erika performs. Yep, that's another form of, just like I said before, it's another form of pay to play. If I wanted to be a singer, which I don't, thank God, but you can pay. You can pay to perform. You can pay to do that. And I'm not knocking that because a lot of comedians and singers and even actors, right? They will pay to have roles, or they'll pay to be in a show or to perform. And I get it. That is just a part of the industry. To be honest, it's just a part of it. You can pay to play. So that I get. But if $25 million didn't get you anywhere, come on. You could have used $5 million to produce your own movie and become a star. That is crazy. That's crazy to me. That's crazy. Hey, Deb. Andy Fleetwood's welcome. That's right. What's up? Hey, Deb. Money and loads of it still overseas. It looks like a fake list. Where's the chump change? Exactly 1,510 cents. Exactly. To me, the list looks fake as hell. It literally looks made up. It looks like they gave it to the intern and said, here, now you have to figure out how to make $25 million appear. Deb says, Amy, you got that right, or pay to play. Exactly. Gustav says this has to be charges on the credit card. But not the whole, but no, they still need the exact amounts. Deb says the old cookbook play, that part, Candy. Exactly. They're cooking the books. Mary says, hey, Deb. Deb says, Gustav, yep, covered it well. Erika threatened all of her cast except Garcelle and Sutton are legit, 100%. And remember, she threatened Sutton, but not to expose Sutton, but to like take her down. Remember whatever she said to Sutton at that dinner, Sutton got a bodyguard? Maybe Sutton knows some real stuff. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Deb says, hey, Mary, how are ya? Hey, Deb, how are your holidays? Happy holidays, everybody. Deb says, baddie account. I wrote a nasty remark on it. It is disgusting. Yeah, it's disgusting. It's disgusting. If you guys didn't see it, I did a video on it. It was the video I did right before this one. You should check it out. But Lisa Rinna's fake account, baddie at Woke Stan, literally today, this morning, did a racist attack against Garcelle on her Twitter account, and she dragged in Girardi from the Real Housewives of Miami into it. Very sick. Very, very sick. Hey, Mary says, uneventful, thankfully. How are yours? Yay. Gustav says Joe Giudice has an extra room. That part. Deb says no, a thug, a creep. They are both thugs. Exactly. Yup. There you go. Mary says good one, but I thought heard he's coming back to America. I don't know. Oh man. Hey Keisha, what's up, sweetheart? Hey Reese, Tom Girardi is a key player in corruption of the California legal system. Yeah, major key player. I mean, what he did, if it's not the largest fraud scheme, it's one of the largest criminal fraud schemes in the history of the state of California. That is how far and how deep this went. In the history of the entire freaking state, if it's not the biggest one, it is one of the biggest ones because it runs so far and so deep. It's not even about the amount of money at this point, which is millions upon millions upon millions upon millions of dollars. Because even when they arrested the CFO for he was arrested on a $10 million wire fraud charge, but they said that was nothing because what he'd actually stolen over the course of the years was $100 million. And that was just the CFO. That was just a CFO. Because I think that this goes wider and deeper than just Tom's victims. I really do. I think it goes wider and deeper. I think it was paying off other people. I think that other people were defrauding more people. I think this goes wider and deeper than just Tom and his victims. I think it's much bigger than that. It's a bigger scheme, and there's more people playing it and more people profiting from it. Hey, Deb, is Juicy coming back? Nah, you joking, Mary. Gustav says, yeah, it takes time to build a case. Yeah. Deb says, I hope they take her like they took Jen Shah. Bloop. I agree. Jen Shah's a mess. I'm going to do a video on it probably tomorrow morning. But her victims wrote a letter to the judge saying, what her crimes did to her. And then also, she's tone deaf as hell. She went to one of her arraignments. I think it's an arraignment. I don't know. An arraignment? I don't know. She went to one of her court hearings wearing a bedazzled money purse. Like, are you the most tone deaf, insensitive chick ever? Ridiculous. Hey, Reese, Tom even has connections to Epstein through the Bronfmans, as does Diana. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's all connected. And it's all very deep and scary. All very deep and scary. That's why I like having my YouTube channel. I can sit up here, I can talk to y'all, I can have some fun, and I can stay safe and happy and not have to deal with the craziness. I'm telling you. Mary says, yes, I just Googled it and he started an immigration process to come back to America last month. Oh, they should deny it. Deb said, on camera at a girls' trip right by the private jet. Oop. Mary says he started the immigration process last month. Wow. Deb says, clink, clink. That's right. Well, good for him, Mary. The girls will be happy. Hey, Alexandra. Glad I caught the chat. There is a rumor Trisha Paytas could make an appearance on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. It's just her trolling, or have you heard this, Candy? I saw it. I think she did like an Instagram post or something like that. And they were like, manifested or something like that. I saw it. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know who Trisha Paytas is. I don't know who she is. And that's no tea, no shade. I just don't know who she is. But I am not believing any of the rumors. I'm not believing Brandy. I'm not believing Erika. I'm not believing Trisha. There's also the rumor that Paris Hilton's coming on the show. I'm not believing anything until Bravo says it. I'm just ready for them to give the contracts already. But this is what I actually think is happening. I think Bravo still does not have a clue on how to make Beverly Hills work again. I don't think that they have a clue on how to find new women. I don't think they have a clue on who to let go. I don't think they still have a clue. And that's why we're getting this sort of piecemeal, fake teasing, Brandy with a diamond, Trisha posting the manifested thing and all of that stuff, because I think that they're still trying to test the waters and see. I also think that they're trying to see if we would be open to having Rinna and Erika back, so I don't know, but I did see that. I did see it, but I don't know if it's true. Hey, Mary said, as Reese goes, what? Ugh. Yep. Hey, artists, happy New Year, everybody. Hit the like button. You too, artists. Happy New Year, and happy New Year, everyone. Hey, Deb, Tom should be deported. Why didn't Madoff say dementia? His son, oh no, his son took his own life over it. Money and corruption. It's crazy. It's really sad. It's really sad. I don't know why Madoff didn't say dementia. He didn't have the right contingency plan. Hey, TMWT, just getting here. Hello, Candy. Hey, what's up? Hey, Deb says, thank you, artist. Happy New Year to you and everyone in the chat. Love, love, love. That's right. Love everybody. Yay. Deb says, no, this was a good one as usual. Welcome. Yes. TMT says, thanks, Deb. Deb says, I was going to say that. Say that. Charles? Charles? I'll say that, Charles. Yes. Hey, Gustav. Once the scam was exposed, Tom was in court and declared incompetent in like 2 days. Couldn't ask him any questions. Exactly. This is another thing. I'm trying to figure out how to say this. There are good people who do bad things, and there's bad people who do bad things. I think that Tom Girardi corrupted both of those types of people. I think that there were people in his organized crime, because he's a thug. Literally all he did was run an organized crime situation, stealing from people and intimidating people. That's nothing but organized crime. Money laundering, these fake accounts, nothing but organized crime. I think a lot of the people that he corrupted, politicians, judges, executives, lawyers, were really bad people. His CFO, the people he worked with, Erika Jayne, were really bad people. But I also think that some of the people he corrupted were probably good people who either felt, you know what, I really need this money, or they felt intimidated by him, or they felt everybody else is doing it. Because there are good people who do bad things. And I think the reason why he was able to be declared incompetent in 2 days and not ask questions is because I bet a lot of the people that he corrupted didn't want it to be exposed that they were corrupted by him. That's a lot of people when you really think about it. That's a lot of people. California State Bar came out and said he had over 205 complaints about him. So for every complaint, you have lawyers who looked the other way. You have judges who looked the other way. You have, state bar officials who looked the other way, whether they were paid to look the other way or whether they said, you know what, I don't want to go against him. I'd rather save myself than save you, who looked the other way. So for all of those complaints and for all of the victims and for how deep this is, it wasn't just Tom Girardi who was corrupt. It was every single person, whether they were paid or not, who looked the other way and allowed him to do this, that are also corrupt. Whether you took money from Tom or not, the fact that you allowed him to steal from innocent people means you were also corrupt. At least morally corrupt. And so I think that a part of why he's being protected is because a lot of these people don't want it to come out that they either were paid to look the other way or they were a coward and they chose to look the other way because it was better you than me. So that's what I think is going on with Tom Girardi. Where I think maybe with the Bernie Madoff, yeah, he was horrible and enabled, but it was probably more of his show that would be taken down. But again, that's still wishy, a lot of waters. And again, why was he the only one taken down? And clearly he was enabled, right? So there's a lot. Deb says, no problem, TM. Nice to see you and joining in. Yes. Hey, Gustav, I think we need a new competency hearing. I agree. And also, are they monitoring his calls? They should be recording every single conversation he has, whether it's on the phone, whether it's in the nursery home. It's called a nursery home, right? A nursery? Or is that for babies and plants? The elderly home. I'm tripping, y'all. The elderly home, right? All of his communication, all of his emails, all of his phone calls, all of his text messages, all of his mail should be being monitored by the feds. Because the fact that Erika Jayne is still on national television, letting it be known that she talks to him every single day, What are you talking about? What are you guys talking about? What he ate for lunch that day? How was the oatmeal? Come on now. Come on. Come on. Sarah says, playing Erika, my money's on Bette Davis and her character in Whatever Happened to Baby Jane. If you're too young, have a Google. Yeah, I'll Google it. It's funny. Hey, Linus Space said, I bet they transferred that guy to a different department of the FBI. Oh, by the way, before you start, you need to have the required physical DNA test. The FBI doesn't play, trust and believe. Well, this is the thing. It's alleged. It's alleged and it's an opinion. So I think the FBI has, I would hope they have bigger fish to fry than me. But thank you, Linus. I really, really do appreciate that. Hey, Deb at Gustav. Yes, I want that too. So you think he'll do another medical exam? Who knows? Hey, Deb at Sarah. Yes, that's who she was at the reunions. Yep. Hey, Mary, make it make sense. Deb said, please remember to subscribe. That's right, you guys. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Hey, Alexandra, wealthy people have all the artwork. It's a way to hide money and can be used as a tax write-off. Exactly. Exactly. It's hiding money in plain sight. There's a reason why it's like, oh, we collect vintage wine and this bottle is $1 million bottle. And, you know, this artwork goes back to blah, 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 blah. Yeah, it's one way to be pretentious and fancy. And it's another really good way to hide your money in plain sight and do a tax write-off. Hey, Amy, handbags are also a way to hide money. Yep, 100%. Hey, Gustav, that was the second pair of earrings. The first were, quote, stolen. Exactly. That was also probably a scheme and a scam for some insurance money. Amy Rose says, especially Birkins. Yep. Hey, Lit says, hi, happy new year. Just drop in. Enjoy your new year. Yeah, that's right. Thank you, Lit. You too, sweetheart. Yep. Deb says, I have my kids' artwork. Aw, and that is way more precious than all this other crap. Hey, Linus Space says, what? Harry Hamlin's sexiest man? Back in the day, yes. Hey, Deb, Lit, there you are. Hey, how was your holiday? Amy says, Kardashian used to tip paparazzi where they were. Exactly. Like you see all these people with the paparazzi and you just think that they're just, oh, I'm just running to get my Starbucks. And how did they know I was here? Girl, because you texted them to come get you. And even the Kardashians, they used to call the paparazzi and then they would approve the photos. Because we all know how the Kardashians are. They look one way in real life, which is very, very different than how they look on Instagram and even in paparazzi photos. Very, very different. Because what you can't fake it in real life. Look at some Google Kardashians in real life. Deb says, no, at Linnaeus, this was just a couple years ago, so paid for, in my opinion. He is too old. He's too, I'm old, creepy. Yeah. Mary says, at Amy Rhodes Facts. Hey, Deb says, thanks, you deserve it. Yay. Hey, Teresa. There's a deleted scene where Erika shows she has expert knowledge of diamonds on pair with a jeweler. She'd totes be into some kind of jewelry trading. Yeah. That's the thing. Erika can't play dumb. She can't play dumb because she's already told it. If you're on camera for long enough, you kind of forget and you spill the beans. Because didn't Erika say she used to be at Tom Girardi's law firm every single day, working right beside him, and that she basically could be a lawyer herself? But now if she wants to play dumb, oh, I had no idea what was going on. I had no idea. Well, you already told us that you did. Crazy. Deb says, Harry Hamlin probably had to pay to be the sexiest man of Toronto. Well, not Toronto. Not Toronto. Deb says, at Reese, I remember that. That's crazy when she plays stupid. Exactly. Hey, Gustav, I want to know Tom's relationship with the judge that declared him incompetent. That's a good question. That's a very good question. That's what I'm saying. Like, how did the judge just say all of a sudden, you're telling me you're incompetent? Cool. Clink, clink, you're good. Go off to the elderly home. Everything you want to happen can happen. Okay, sounds good. Yeah. And if he's incompetent, then how come he only lost his what is it called? His law license this year? He's been in the elderly home since 2020 because that's when the shit hit the fan. But he has legally been allowed to practice law up until this very year because he only lost it, I think, in July. So which is it? Is he incompetent and has dementia? Or is he competent enough to still legally have a law license? because he only lost it this year. And the reason why we know that is because remember the State Bar of California came out and basically was like mea culpa. They were like, my bad. And they admitted that they had over 205 complaints against him and that they were doing some internal audit on how they did this and how they failed the public. And, you know, their whole job is to protect the public and they didn't do it and all that stuff because the California State Bar basically came out and said, listen, we messed up here. We enabled this. We had all of these complaints. We did nothing to stop it and all of that stuff. That's when he lost his license. And that was only in like July, I want to say. So I'm really confused as he's being, you know, determined to have dementia and incompetent, but yet he still legally could have been practicing law. And they were even saying that he still had clients. I don't know what clients, but again, a lot of times some people just never want to believe the truth. Didn't they say that he had clients who were even, this was like very early on, didn't they say that he had clients who were even visiting him in the elderly home? Because sometimes no matter what people do, you're still going to have people, like even serial killers have people who like write to them in prison, you know? Sometimes it's like, no matter what somebody does, you're going to have somebody who is dumb enough and crazy enough and desperate enough to still try and support that person. Wouldn't be me. If somebody told me my lawyer did one of the most incredulous criminal fraud Ponzi schemes in California history, you think I'm taking my little butt over to the elderly home to talk to him only to get a check? That would be it. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Deb says, Pat the Puss cracks me up that you say that. But right? You know what I'm saying? It's like you had $25 million at your disposal and the best you came up with was Pat the Puss. And the saddest part is you paid to get on stage and say Pat the Puss. They didn't even pay you. So basically, at least strippers get paid. You paid them to be a stripper for them. Girl, bye, Erika. You're so tired. TMWT says she is part of a much bigger scam, in my opinion. Yes. I think that there is a much bigger scam, a much bigger scheme. I think this goes beyond Tom Girardi's victims. I think other people in his circle have their own victims, almost like a multi-level marketing scheme. You know, the key people at the top have all the people underneath them, and then all the people underneath them, and then all the people underneath them. I think that he was running a multi-level Ponzi scheme. I don't think it was just Tom Girardi. I think his associates, his friends, whoever, like the CFO stole $100 million. I think it's much deeper and much wider. And I think that's why it's taking so long. But in my gut, I think they're going to get Erika. But I don't think it'll be anytime soon. But I think they're going to get her. Deb says, oh my gosh, Candy, I'm dying here laughing. Good. I'm happy we can laugh together. Gustav says, Gold Digger 101, know your jewelry. That part, Deb is laughing. I think those earrings were probably already part of a fraud. Because they bought the earrings for $750,000. This is what they did with the earrings. This was the fraud of the earrings. Either she bought it or he bought it, but they bought the $750,000 earrings, right? And then what they did was they took the receipt and they said it was a court expense. So then they got reimbursed that $750,000. So they basically were able to get the diamond earrings that were worth $750, and then they got the money back. And the money back, what should have been the firm's money, the victim's money, they got back that $650,000. So now I have these earrings that are worth $750, and I still got $750 back. And then allegedly, those earrings got stolen, allegedly, and then the insurance company had to replace those earrings. So that's another scam, unless those earrings were actually magically stolen. So now you have two pairs of earrings allegedly worth $750,000 that you did not pay for. Ridiculous. Gustav says, I wonder if Rena's garage where her clothes are Erika's. I think those are Brenna clothes. This is at Linus. I was joking with you. He's so 80s. Yes, 80s. Hey, Linus. He goes, no, he's just not as sexy like he used to be. For him, he was better younger. That doesn't play for everyone. I think there are lots of sexy older people. Plus, he has Rinna. She's like an albatross. You guys. I love it. Hey, Deb, she played the gays. She says that and accused Kathy of that. Rinna, and you planted that word on Kathy. 100%. 100%. Gustav says Erika has very trashy language like a sailor. Yup. Linus says Lady Gaga. I think not. Exactly. Hey, Lynn. Lynn says the F word wasn't beeped out when the episode was aired here in New Zealand. Yep, that's what I heard. And that's very triggering. I can't say, if she said the N word, I couldn't be up in arms, but then have her say the F word and it's cool? No, neither of them are cool. It's not okay. Mary says he also has a boyfriend in Canada, so it's rumored by lots of people. Yeah. Yep. Deb says, yeah, I do at Linus. He just isn't sexy. I don't know if it's Rinna or what. She sort of makes things icky. Lynn says, can Erika even sing? I don't think so. Auto-tune, backup singers. I mean, this Erika to me sings like just I don't know, like an average chick who sings in the shower and thinks she's Mariah Carey, and it's like, girl, bye bye. Hey, Gustav, no, she can't sing. She just moans crap. Deb says, yeah, Mary, he isn't sexy, but who paid for him on The Sexy Man Alive? Maybe Jenkins paid that part. Because yeah, you can pay to get on those lists. You really can. Hey, Amy at Lynn, auto-tune. Deb says, they have money stashed. Yep. Hey, Gustav, she said it on the show. I took a few things from the house. Ha, 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 ha. Yeah. She has no shame. No shame. Hey, Wayne. If Erika and Lisa Rinna return in Brandy too, then I'm done with Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Yeah, it's a wrap. They really don't know what the hell they're doing if they do that. They really don't. Hey, Deb. Yep, she took a few things. LOL at Gustav. Deb is at Wayne. Me too. I say that, but I mean it this time. Yes. Wayne says Bravo doesn't care at all. It's about the ratings, and I hope it will be their downfall. Yep. Deb says Erika can't sing. She is nothing more than a made up old pop auto-tune it. Bloop. Deb said it depends on if you're wealthy clients. Gustav, I bet someone was paid off to get her that Chicago part. That part. Deb says the 1% get away with everything. I mean, money in this world, money, power, respect. Mary says at Deb, I bet you are right. She's just gross. I hope she gets her karma for pimping out young girls and the scam pledge money for Erika's victims. Me too. Like, I hope the feds are also doing an investigation into Diana. How can she get away with it? And in my opinion, what Diana, not to be like compare like, oh, who's worse or who's that, but I think that Diana on a scale of 1 to hell, she's all the way down to hell with her allegations. So I really hope the feds are looking into that. You can't just have all those allegations and no investigation. That's crazy. That's crazy. I bet you if people were like, God forbid, I'm not putting that out there. I'm not put that out there, but God forbid somebody was saying that about, a random person. I'm pretty sure the feds or the police or CPS would be knocking on the door and being like, so by the way, there have been multiple people for decades claiming that you're doing sex trafficking. Can we talk? How is there no investigation into her? There must be. I hope so. Behind the scenes. Deb says, or the fraudulent 1%. Bloop. Hey, Bubbles. What's up? Happy New Year. Says, hey, Candy. Sorry, I've been MIA. We found out my husband has cancer on. Oh, no. I'm so sorry. He has cancer the Monday before Christmas. So I've been tending to him and my kids. Oh, Bubbles. I'm so sorry. Sending you, your kids, and your husband lots of love and lots of healing. I hope we can make you laugh, and thank you for spending time with us, but sending you and your family lots of love and lots of help and lots of healing. Deb says, welcome, Bubbles. Hey, hey. Yes, that's right. Amy says, oh no, sending positivity. Absolutely. Bubbles says, hey, Deb. Oh, thank you so much. You're welcome, Bubbles. We love you. Gustav says $40 million a month glam squad is $480,000 a year. Yeah, that was fake and fraudulent money. Deb says, praise for you, and especially your husband. I know there's a miracle cures now. Yes. Lots of love. Wayne says, I hope Kathy Hilton creates a series on her own with her connections and adds Sutton, Crystal, LVP, Camille, and Garcelle to go toe-to-toe with Bravo. It would be game over. That would actually be really cool. Like, Bravo's not the only network that does reality TV. Mary says, at Bubbles, I'm so sorry to hear that about your husband. Sending you a virtual hug. Yes, sending lots and lots of it. Yep. Who says, actually, IRS says to round off, no sense. Then how come some of them have sense and some of them don't? That's why it's fake. It's not consistent. A lot of them are like 11, 1, 1, 1. But then you have random ones, $645.83, $660.67. So if that's the case, then how come the list isn't consistent? See? This is a fake list. Deb says, Bubbles, dear heart, your husband will remain in prayer from me. What's his name? Oh, I love you guys. Bubbles says, thank you so much. His name is Lenny. Oh, sending lots of love to Lenny. Lots of healing to Lenny. Deb says, my sister-in-law just got the same. She's doing really well now with treatments. Oh, Deb, so sorry. Oh, you guys. Sending lots and lots of love and lots of healings to everybody, to Deb, your sister-in-law, to Bubbles' husband. Yes, that's right. We love you, Bubbles, and we love you too, Deb. Mary says, didn't they list Aaron Hernandez? He offed himself in prison. Yeah. This was a different Aaron, but you're right. But that's another thing that they do, right? When they do the fake, because again, I listened to this podcast and it was all about white collar criminals, and they would make up names and they would be like similar names to famous people or people like that, but it would be like a little off. So it's crazy. It's crazy. Yep, Des says, and you remain in prayer for your husband's recovery. Yes, Bubbles receiving the love. Kathy says forensic accounting. Exactly. Deb says Larry will, I think his name is Lenny. Lenny will be in prayer until you tell him he's fine. Exactly. Yes. Hey, Gustav says, I'm coming for you. Hey, Eli, what's up? He goes, it's another absurd display of BS and nonsense. 100%. 100%. And also so Gustav, you said that the IRS says to round off, but this list wasn't for the IRS. This list was for the trustee who's doing the bankruptcy. So again, I think this list is fake. Alexander says, Lisa Rinna never stops. Very cringe. That part. Hey, Deb, Erika has a foul mouth and she looks like Baby Jane at the reunion. Not Baby Jane. I gotta look up this Baby Jane. Mademoiselle says, you can tell Erika is sleazy. Her voice changed as soon as I got caught. Her voice did change. Her personality, her face, everything. Deb says, I'm not a fan of Erika Jayne. Never was. Me either. Hey, Eli, it all runs so deep for sure. Yep. Deb says, at Mademoiselle, you're so right. And what's up with her voice? She's so phony. We're appealing for legal reasons. Ridiculous. Wayne says, I wonder how Yolanda feels about Erika nowadays. Well, I mean, weren't they beefing for a while? Because I know that Yolanda brought Erika on the show, but didn't Erika choose Lisa Rinna over Yolanda? Remember the whole Munchausen thing? Dirty. Deb says, Jen, what the heck? Yeah, I'm going to do a video on her tomorrow morning. So reckless. Eli says, heck, this case probably inspired Bankman-Fried. Mary says, Erika is an expensive prostitute. Not an expensive prostitute. It's expensive to be me. Wow. Yeah, I definitely cannot sing, but I probably sound better than Erika. Deb says, hey. Eli says, oh no, LOL, Paris isn't joining this cabal. I don't think so too. I don't believe the Paris Hilton rumors. I really don't. Eli says, hello, awesome people. Hello, what is up? Thank you for coming through. Wayne says, just saw David Foster perform with Catherine McPhee. Article, he's 73 and she's 38. They had a son last year. I'm surprised he's still able to pick up his kids. To be honest, I really felt sorry for Yolanda. I felt bad for her too. I did too. I think, yeah. Yeah, I felt bad for Yolanda. Mary says, Wayne, I know, right? My ex-narcissist discarded me after I had 2 emergency life-saving surgeries, so I truly felt empathy for Yolanda. Oh, Mary. Oh, we love you. We love you. We're happy you're okay now, sweetie. Deb says, Wayne, that's crazy. Yep. Mary says, husband left out that part. Mary. That's a big part to leave out, Mary. That was funny. Hey, Deb, I think it's about Tom practiced for over 50 years. That takes us up to 70s. Our judicial system has been so corrupt for 50 years and nothing done. It's really scary. It's really scary and really sad. Deb said, nothing done until the new century. This is unbelievable. Deb said, Tom Girardi needs to be deported ASAP. Wayne says, my wife lives in the with the effects of Lyme disease every day. Oh, I'm sorry, Wayne, and I would never leave her. He quit even after all that's available to him with to them, treatments and all. Shows how much of a weak man he is. Yeah. Yeah, it's really sad. And so sorry about your wife, but we know that she's strong and healthy and all the good stuff. Eli says, yes, they'll drag it out until he's dead. Yep. Gustav says Tom would partially pay people that complained loudly. He would promise all the money and then he would drop the complaint and then he would have to start all over. Yep. Classic scheme. Erika went from I don't talk to him to I talk to him every day. That part. Deb says before he dies, Bernie took the money from all the likes of Tom Hanks, Bill Maher, celebs like Hanks, nursing home because he has dementia. Got it. Okay. Thank you, guys. I was like, wait a minute. Nursing. I was like, it's a nursing home, right? Like, am I playing? Like, oh, you know what? I was thinking about a nursery. Shows you how much I know. Gustav says, by the feds, the state of California won't do anything. Yep. Hey, OST says nursing home. Yes, OST is laughing at me. I'm trying my best, guys. I'm trying my best. Deb says, you're right. California is a bit lacking. Mary says, at Deb, it's crazy. He had like 212 complaints to the California bar. It's also so sick how they protected him. Emily D. Baker has interviews with Edelson, the attorney in Chicago. Yep. Exactly. Deb says, wow, 212 complaints on Girardi and nobody did anything. How terrible. Because they were getting paid to shut up. I don't think people are silent for, 50 years. I don't think people are silent with over 200 complaints without some type of money exchanging hands. It's not just intimidation. It's money. Because a lot of people had to hush a lot of people up, Sorry, guys. Deb says, blah, 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 blah. Gustav, the California bar apologized for their, quote, mistake. Exactly. They need to be honest and they need to pay back whatever money he gave them to be quiet to the victims, to be honest. Hey, Michelle, Madoff stole from the rich people. Tom and Erika stole from poor people. If you stole from the rich, you're going to prison. Ooh. That's a good one, Michelle. That's a good one. Mary said nothing. Clients would go to other law firms and nobody would take their cases. They knew he was above the law. Yep. 100%. Hey, princess, they should have chosen better if Harry Hamlin was the sexiest. I agree. Gustav says Erika said she didn't know how to operate a bank account. Professor Gustav in the house. Mary said it took Edelson filing in Chicago where judges could not be bought off like in California for this scheme to be brought to light. Yep. 100%. And then once they took it to Chicago, then the media, like the global, not the global, well, yeah, global, but like national media got involved. Then it started to pop off. Hey, Gustav, I thought that I hear he was seeing clients in the nursing home. He was seeing clients. I heard that too. Deb says that, Michelle, exactly what you do to poor folk isn't brought to justice. What you do to wealthy, you're a goner. Clink, clink. Tell me about it. Tell me about it. Deb said Tom himself said that Erika has the brains of a lawyer. He said that to LVP. Yep. Gustav says, hey, Dahmer, please come eat me. Oh, God. Gustav says PK wanted to pat the puss for sure. That is true. Deb says $25 million to pat the puss. Oh, the shade strippers get paid. Oof, you're so good. I mean, it's the truth. She went from being paid to strip to paying to strip. Girl, bye. Mary says, right, he was letting LVP know his wife was as manipulative at that dinner. Yeah, he was basically saying, like, listen, you're a sniper from the side, and so is Erika. Deb's laughing. Mary's laughing. Deb says, Candy, you crack me up. Oh, a bunch of people. Oh, I forgot about that. Deb said, this is such a crime story, and not Erika, but our country to have this man fake his way up for 50 plus years, scamming our justice system. He robbed our courts, our poor victims in this country. I can't. Yeah, it's sad. And the saddest part is that it's sad and sick, but there's a lot of Tom Girardis in this world. Maybe not at this scale, but there's a lot of Tom Girardis. Like if you think about what's going on in, I think it's South Carolina now, with Alec Murdaugh, with him and all of his good old boy system, they stole actually very, very similar to Tom Girardi, if not the same exact Ponzi scheme, a very similar one. And they stole millions, I mean, millions of dollars from their clients, also from victims, from people who lost family members in car crashes, people who were disabled. This one guy he was already disabled, and then his family got in this car crash and he ended up dying and all this stuff. They stole millions of dollars from him. His nanny slash housekeeper died in his house. He stole the insurance money from her family. Like, it's crazy. He stole millions and millions and millions of dollars. Very similar to Tom Girardi, had this, but he was more like, he came from this like family of lawyers and family of prosecutors. They like ran the town for 100 years, stole millions of dollars from people. And when his fraud was about to be exposed, he ended up killing, well, I'll just say allegedly. He allegedly ended up killing his own wife and son. And this happens a lot with white collar crime. And then it becomes a red collar crime. It's when you have a fraudulent life and you're on the brink of being exposed, that is when they are the most dangerous. I'm actually shocked that there's no murder attached to Tom Girardi in the fraud case. I'm shocked. Maybe because he had his whole contingency plan and he went off to the nursing home and all of that stuff. But usually in situations like this, when they're going to be exposed, if there is a threat that they think that they can eliminate through murder, they will. You should listen. There's a whole podcast called Red Collar, and it's all about that. And it happens a lot. And it's really scary, but there's a lot of Tom Girardis out there. It's really scary, you guys. Sorry. Reese says, cough. I did cough. California Jesuit control ring. Cough. What is that? Mary says, Candy, I subscribed to your Sugar Pills podcast on Spotify the other day. Oh, thank you so much. After listening to your review about friends and how to distance, I have been practicing the slow fade. Yes, the slow fade, Mary. Oh, that's so great. Thank you so much. That's a good reminder, you guys. We talk a lot about the housewives and Bravo and stuff, but I also do a lot of self-care, self-love, and wellness content. I have a podcast called Sugar Pills, A Practical Guide to Self-Care. It's on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. It's also linked below in the description box. And I have videos on my YouTube channel. This channel, I have videos on it too. So if you're into that stuff, definitely check it out. So thank you, Mary. That's really cool. Deb says, why do they let the F word fly in any country? I don't know. Mary says, interview. Yes, the interview. Thank you, Mary. That's really sweet. Deb says, I love the Sugar Pills and self-care. Yes, it's so good. Yay, you guys. Yay, I love it. Thank you so much. That's so great. Mary says, Deb, I'm excited to listen. I just started being extremely selfish with my time and showing myself nothing but self-love. I'm excited to get advice from Candy. Yay, I love it. That is right. I mean, it's all about self-love. It really, really is. Deb says, what is Tom doing in a nursing home seeing clients? That part. Why could he still legally had his law license until July? Make sense. Hey, Deb, it's an exciting time of ourselves with a woman who loves positivity and wants us to care about ourselves for a change. Yes, we have to respect ourselves and love ourselves and put ourselves first. Mary says, remember how much Erika used the C word? Exactly. Who's C word now? Exactly. Mary says, I didn't even use the hashtag right. That's funny. Mary says, yes, it is. Deb said, lots of love to Lenny. Lenny's in our prayer for healing. Yes, he is. We're sending lots of love to you, Bubbles, and to your sister-in-law too, Deb. Deb says, I'm loving it. Yeah, love it. Yay, so much love. Gustav says, Erika's testicles dropped. Gustav. Reese says, alkaline water, oxygen therapy, CBD oil, BI carb for surface cancers all help cancer. Okay. Deb says, it's expensive to be me. Yes, you do, Candy. You sound better than EJ. Thank you so much. Deb says, I felt bad for Yolanda. I did too. They played Yolanda, but guess who's on top? Yolanda. Guess who has like her 2 daughters? I mean, it's a little bit of plastic surgery, but you know what? Whatever. But at least her daughters are like top models, you know? So Yolanda is on top, which is all we need to know. Yay, Deb says, Mary, we love you, sweetie. Wayne, I'm sorry, that's rough. Yes, we love you too, Wayne, and we're sending love to your wife as well. Yes. Maine says, I bet you Erika screwed David Foster. I bet she did too. I bet she did. Reality says all those payments should have an FEI number. They can possibly get around the ones below 600, but any above that need a number. See, there you go. There you go. Deb says, Candy, I'm sore from laughing. Good. Deb says, seems like we know nothing that's true in the States. Yep. Tom gave money to our current governor, Gavin Newsom. Yeah, he did. He gave money to his campaign. Oh, man, I really like Gavin. I'm just going to be in denial, and I'm just going to say Gavin didn't know. I'm just going to be in denial, guys. You can judge me, but I really like my governor. Deb says, at Gustav, do you mind if I call you professor? I mean no harm. You're smarty. Gustav says, oh, it's just because I watch a lot of murder mysteries and cop shows. I want details. Me too. I'm obsessed. I watch all Law and Orders. I mean, all of them. Murder, She Wrote, Columbo, Murder in Provence. I watch a lot of true crime and a lot of murder mysteries. Like, I feel like I could be a detective. Like, I'm like Detective Candy Cane is on the case, you guys. Put on our critical thinking hats. Deb says, so it's okay that I refer to you as our professor. Maine says, I bet Erika went with David Foster. Yep, 100%. Hey, Gustav says, Erika was a cocktail waitress just like Crystal was a receptionist in a strip joint. Yes, we did. Yes, we talked about that earlier. Again, it was just funny where it was like Crystal said she was a receptionist at an escort agency. And then a year later, she met her husband and got married. Now, I'm not saying she met her husband at an escort agency. I'm not saying that. I'm just repeating what she said herself on the show. We all can connect the dots. You know what it is. Wayne says, with all the snow in the U.S. is getting lately, it snowed in Beverly Hills yet this year. No, there has been no snow in Pasadena. I live in LA. It does not snow. And it sure as hell does not snow in Pasadena. Like, she could have came up with a much better lie than that. Deb says, why do you say that at Maine she has a stable, I think it's been around for decades. Gustav says, just don't call me late for dinner. Ha ha ha, what you cooking? They are called family annihilators. Excuse me. No, Gustav, they're not family annihilators. No, they're not. This is something different. Okay, so a family annihilator is someone who is in their own way. Yes, they're running a fraud or they're running a scheme, or maybe they even unbeknownst or accidentally loses all of the family's money, or maybe they lose their job and they are the primary breadwinner of the family. That's more of a mental disposition, or I don't know if it's an illness, but it's more of a mental thing where they think that, you know, without the money that I give to my family cannot survive. It's more like this like delusion that they have. And they think and they don't want to bring shame to their family, don't want to bring shame to themselves. And so they think that I lost the family money, or I lost my job, or, you know, I'm going to be exposed as a fraud. And then they kill their entire family. That's what a family annihilator is. Red collar criminal, which is what Alec Murdaugh is different. So a red collar criminal, they will kill anybody that they think is a threat to exposing their fraud. So they would kill their business partner. They would kill an accountant. They would kill a client that they're scamming, right? And so the reason why Alec allegedly killed his wife and son wasn't because he was a family annihilator, but because his son had accidentally, I think it's murder is like driving while intoxicated murder, or is that manslaughter? Anyway, his son was wasted and he was boating, and they had a boat crash, and this woman named Mallory Beach, this young girl, I think she was like in her early 20s, ended up dying. And based on that, and his son Paul was driving the boat, and based on that, the son Paul and his wife were being sued because his wife had given the son her credit card, and the son used her credit card to buy alcohol, which would not be a problem except the son was underage. So the fact that the son was a minor at the time who got alcohol and he used his mother's credit card to do it, they were holding the son and the mother liable for Mallory Beach's death. And because of that lawsuit, they wanted to go into Alex's finances. And since Alex had been running this Ponzi scheme this fraudulent Ponzi scheme for so long, he thought, if I get rid of my wife and son, because he has 2 sons, he only killed 1 son. If I get rid of my wife and son, then this lawsuit will go away. My scheme won't be exposed. My fraud won't be exposed. So he didn't kill his wife and son because he had shame or because he thought that, if his lack of money or him not being there would not be able to provide for his family. That's what a family annihilator would do. He killed them because he thought, if I get rid of them, then I can keep my fraud going. So a red collar criminal, they'll kill anybody. They would kill the bank teller. They would kill the client they're stealing from. It just so happened that it was these 2 people that he killed. But it's different than a family annihilator. But still absolutely crazy in all of that. And his trial is coming up, I think, early next year. And that's a very big story. Hey, Deb, how do you know there wasn't a murder? Red collar is good. Yeah, red collar. Yeah. So it's because it's like a white collar crime is basically like financial crimes, right? So they call it red collar for when somebody who is committing a white collar crime ends up murdering someone. Then it becomes a red collar crime because it's like blood, How do you know there wasn't a murder? It wasn't a murder. I mean, again, I'll say allegedly, but if you follow the story, he did this. Like, he did it. Deb says, candy, honey, and lemon, please. We need your voice. We love you. Sugar pills, love is great. Oh, I know. I will. I'm going to wrap up soon. We've been on here for almost 2 hours, so we're definitely going to wrap up soon. Thank you. Deb says, potty mouth, Erika. I know. Thanks, Candy. You're welcome. Yeah, Erica's testicles dropped. I know. Oh, it's too much. Hey, who I am here, who I am again says, hey, Candy. Hey, sweetheart. What is up? Deb says, I can't. I've laughed and teared up in here. I just love the folks in the chat. And Candy, I love you guys too. You guys are the best. POTUS, Gavin, Newsom. Deb says, I read crime novels too. They're so good. Deb says, I always tell you, Candy, you're a detective. Mm-hmm. Deb says, welcome, who I am here. Mary says, I'm addicted to everything true crime related too. Sorry, guys, I have to get my heart to take my heart meds and close my eyes. I'll be listening. Night, y'all. Oh, good night, Mary. Take care of yourself, sweetheart. We love you. I'm about to wrap it up too because my voice is going out. Deb says, good night, Mary. Same here soon, sweetie. Take care. Love yourself. Yes. Oh, love you. Love you. Love you. Love you. Gustav says, Candy, I see. I bow to your superior knowledge. No, it's not even superior knowledge. It's like, I'm just a dork and I'm really nerdy and I love it. So I'm like, wait a minute. Let me tell you what a family annihilator is. Like, I love it. Sierra Conda says it's absolutely abhorrent behavior. Did he get indicted for doing that? Do you mean Alec indicted for his schemes? Yeah, he is facing like 99 counts and like years in prison, years and years and years. It's a whole thing. I recommend a podcast. It's called Murdoch Murders if you want to know more about it or just Google it. But I mean, it's deep. It's very, very deep. There was the son, Paul, who killed Mallory Beach. There's also a question of a young boy named Stephen who died. He was murdered as well. And and the rumor is that his other son, Buster, had something to do with this kid's death, but it was covered up. It's very deep. Like, it's very deep and dark. It's a lot. Gustav says, remember Sutton said she started taking testosterone? She got more assertive after that. Deb says, I wonder if Girardi is really an attorney. I think he's a monster. He's a monster. And no remorse. That's the problem. Deb says, we love your nerdy part too. Thank you. Gustav said, I thought I knew crime. Never heard of red collar crime before. Yeah, red collar. There's a whole podcast called Red Collar And it's all about white collar criminals who end up murdering someone in order to cover up their crime. Because usually a white collar criminal wouldn't murder someone. You know, sure, they're doing horrible things and they're stealing and the money and all of that, but they're not like a murderer. You know, they're not out there, you know, murdering people. But when they are faced with either in their minds, because obviously this isn't logical, but in their minds, if I could just get rid of this person, then all my problems would go away. That's when you have a white collar criminal become a murderer. So you should, look into it. It's good. Is it spelled like Murtaugh? No, it's Murdaugh. I think it's Murdaughh, I think. And then Alec is spelled Alex. It's spelled like Alex, but it's pronounced Alec. Yay. So basically take out all the witnesses. Yeah. Well, not even like the witnesses. It's take out whoever is going to betray you, whoever is going to expose you. Deb says, at Gustav, you love this podcast. It's good. Deb says, red collar. Check it out if you like crime solving stories. Yes. All right, you guys, I'm going to call it a night. My voice is giving away to me, but I just wanted to say I love you, everybody. Happy holidays. Everybody stay safe. Watch your pockets, watch your money, because there are a lot of criminals out there like Tom Girardi, who's a thug, and all of that stuff. So, and there's a lot of Erika Jayne Girardis out there, so be careful. But I love you guys. Enjoy this holiday. Stay safe. Sending lots of love and healing and positivity to anybody that is sick or has family members who are sick. We're sending prayers and healing to everybody. And I love you guys. And thank you so much for hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. I had so much fun tonight, and I hope you did too. I hope I made you laugh. I hope I made you cry with happy tears. And I just really, really appreciate every one of you. And I love you guys so much. And Amy says, have a good night. You too, sweetheart. Shout out to Deb, one of my mods. I appreciate you. Thank you for holding me down. She says, love y'all. Happy holidays and show your love to one another. That is right. So with that, you guys, I absolutely love you. And if you want to, you know what to do. Go ahead and like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss it when we go live. Also, be sure to share this with a friend, because a kiki is always better with the community. And check out our description box down below. That's right. Prayers for Linny, for Bubbles, for Mary, for Deb, for Wayne, his wife, for Deb's sister-in-law, for everybody out there. We love you too. And with that, you guys, I will see you tomorrow. Bye.
Welcome to Sugar Pills, a practical guide to self-care, where your host, writer, actor, and producer Candy Washington helps you live a more joyful life with a cheeky dash of pop culture news. Be sure to subscribe, leave a 5-star review, and join the conversation on Instagram at Candy Washington. Let's go.